to the Porch City Plate Podcast, presented by the Enville Bites Food Tour. The Porch City Plate Podcast, serving up the food, history, and people of Mobile, Alabama, for people who love the Porch City. I'm your host, Chris Andrews, and I'm really excited about this episode of the podcast. We're going to go out to Midtown today for our next episode, and a long-time staple and fan favorite in that community since 2008 is Ashland Midtown Pub. And Christian Hollinghead and his family, they're the recent new owners of Ashland Midtown Pub, and you know, if you've been there, you know those pizzas are phenomenal. They've got some of the best pizzas in town. Awesome menu. Probably one of the best Sunday brunches in Mobile. And so, you know, just kind of, you know, I'm just real excited to, you know, peel that back and learn more about Christian and what his family's doing. So, Christian, welcome to the Porch City Plate Podcast.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about I know you and your family, you've only been in ownership a short time.
Yes, sir.
But what's some of the history there at Ashland Midtown Pub?
So it has been open, like you said, since 2008. I know there was a change of ownership in 2010, and that was when our head chef got in there. I believe it was 2010. And the previous owner and the head chef really got in there and did a lot with the menu, recreated the whole menu, and pretty much it's still the same menu that we're using to this day. I mean, they nailed it and just kept on rolling with it.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
Absolutely.
What about, you grew up here, right?
Yes, sir. I went to UMS, right?
Okay. And did you and your family, did y'all aspire to own a restaurant, or like what was kind of the story there?
Never. We really didn't talk about it. I don't know. If we did talk about it, it was me saying somehow, I think that would be so cool. But my parents used to own Cotton Capers. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but we started going to lunch at Ashland Midtown Pub. It was right down the street. Fell in love with the place, and one thing kind of led to another after that. After a few conversations, they're just blessed to be in the situation that we're in.
Yeah, that's
yes,
cool.
Sir.
So, what's some of the roles there? What's the roles with your family like in the restaurant?
So I'm actually the only one that's there full time. My dad was a huge help in helping me get my feet planted, you would say, but my dad's been a huge help giving me advice, and I suppose my mom, I mean, they both own a small business in Mobile, so they know pretty much the ins and outs of it, so I'm very blessed to have that stable background, but it's pretty much just me in there, and I'm learning from my staff. I have a great staff. All the employees are extremely nice, and they're really the ones carrying me right now.
Yeah.
I should say.
What's kind of been the balance of, in your philosophy when it comes to, you know, keeping things the same? Like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, for sure, you know, at Ashland Midtown Pub. But, you know, I know you probably want to put, you know, your own spin and your own, you know, creativity in there. So what's kind of the balance there?
That pretty much like a facelift, I would say. We're going to come in there, try to paint up real good. We've mentioned a few, you know, tables, chairs, getting some new stuff in. But as far as the menu, I don't want to fool with the menu unless our chef does. I'm kind of letting him handle the menu, but he's really got an awesome menu. There's a lot of great choices on there. But as far as changing it up, I mean, we might paint the inside or the outside, but we're not going to change up the menu. We're going to keep the same old Ashland Pub and the same old ambiance that everybody loves going to.
And y'all got a ton of loyal customers too,
sir.
right? I mean, y'all got some people that, you know, are coming in there all the time.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's talk about your menu. I mean, when I think of Ashland Midtown Pub, I certainly think about your pizzas, right? I mean, that's probably what you're most known for, I think.
Yes, sir.
I mean, pizzas that you're not going to find anywhere else in town. Just, you know, a bunch of unique combinations of pizzas. So talk about those. Yes,
sir. Yeah, there's all different kind of combinations. My personal favorite is the buffalo chicken, but I know a big seller is our here today going to Maui. It's got the red sauce, Canadian bacon, and the fresh pineapples. Hey How You Doin is a big seller. It's got the Italian sausage and the smoked sausage and salami, pepperoni. It's pretty much like our meat lovers. And then we also have a barbecue chicken pizza, which is really good. And then if you really like olives, we have a muffaletta. And it is really good. I'm not huge on olives, but the way our chef does that muffaletta is awesome.
Yeah, and I'm usually I'm not a big olives person either, but I love a muffaletta.
Yes,
for
sir.
Sure. So yeah, that's good. I need to come out and get that.
Come
one
on, sure. Yes, sir.
What would you say? Like what's a must-try pizza? I mean, if you said, you know, if you're talking to somebody they've never been in before, you know, you tell them you got to come try our pizza. What would you say? What's the number one pizza that you'd say come try?
I would probably have to say either the Opa or Hey How You Doin. You know, the Hey How You Doin we just talked about is like the meat lovers, and then Opa's the white sauce with the chicken breast, sun-dried tomatoes, and spinach. And then we also have the the Old World pizza, it's got fresh bagels, artichoke hearts with romaine tomatoes and mozzarella cheese. It is really good as well.
Yeah, kind of looking at your menu, I mean, it almost looks like an Italian restaurant.
Yes, sir.
And so you got pizzas and Strombolis and calzones. So where did that Italian influence come from?
That's the chef. That's the way he wanted to roll with it. I'm just kind of picking up as he's got it. But
let's talk about him, right? KK Hollis, right?
KK Hollis, yes, sir. He went to McGill, so he's also hometown.
Yeah.
He grown up in Mobile, but he is incredible. I mean, some of the stuff he comes up with, I have no clue how he does it. He's incredible, but he's really taking that menu above and beyond to the next level.
What do you think's his secret?
I wish I could find out. I wish I could. I get back there and look at it, and I feel like I'm in the way. I gotta just let him do his thing back there.
Yeah. So when y'all took over ownership, like having him stay there, that was a must, right?
Absolutely, yes, sir. That was a must.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the Sunday brunch too. I mean, I think probably most known as well for y'all's great Sunday brunch, and some of the menu items like the shrimp and grits, and that Monte Cristo with Conecuh and Gouda cheese grits, right?
Yes,
I mean, that's some
sir.
good stuff. So we'll talk about some of the things on y'all's brunch menu that y'all do.
Yes, sir. So pretty much, I mean, everything that I've had on the brunch menus, everything I've had on the menu is really good, but the brunch menu is what people come in for. My favorite on the brunch is a steak chimichurri with the Gouda grits, 2 poached eggs, and then the steak around it with the chimichurri sauce. It's hard to beat, but yes, the brunch is amazing. We have the Captain Crunch French toast as well. He's got those strawberries on the inside with the cream cheese. It's really incredible. And then our mimosas, and then also our Bloody Marys as well. People come in there and they love them.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. I can appreciate too that you got a kids menu on the Sunday brunch.
Yes, sir, with the pancakes and eggs and bacon.
Yeah. And you mentioned that steak chimichurri, and I know our good buddy Fulton. And I was talking to him about coming in Sunday brunch. That's what he mentioned to me.
Yes, sir.
Steak chimichurri.
Yes, sir.
So describe kind of the atmosphere. I mean, Ashland Midtown Pub. It's one of those. It's just one of those versatile places in Mobile, right? I mean, it can be family friendly. Like you mentioned, Sunday brunch. You got a kids menu. You can take your kids. I mean, it can also be a upscale anniversary dinner. Kind of place, but and maybe even a late night place. They are open till 11 on the weekend.
Yes, sir.
So just kind of describe the atmosphere and what you're going for.
We pretty much want to make the customer comfortable. We're willing to give any atmosphere that y'all want. I know in the later times we like to turn the lights down, turn the music up. But we've also done like bridal showers where we've closed the whole place for the public and just had 50 people come in, and we can really do anything we want to with the patio. We dog friendly. We love for dogs to come up and sit on the patio with us. We just want the customer to have the best experience they can. Yeah,
that's a good idea too.
Yes, sir.
So I can hold a pretty good amount of people, especially with the outdoor area as well.
Yes, sir.
I know if you're listening in the summertime, nobody's thinking about the outdoor patios right now, but they will be in a couple months.
That's right.
Talk about some other menu items. I saw the crawfish and your crawfish dip.
Oh, the crawfish and red pepper dip as an appetizer. Yes, that's really good. Chef does that with some crustinis, pretty much like some toasted bread, or spinach and artichoke dip, which you can add crab meat to. Try that for the first time. It's really good.
Okay.
Pizza dip, you can't ever go wrong with our pizza dip. Salads, we have an ahi tuna salad, which I would probably say is our best seller at the moment. I mean, fresh ahi tuna with the avocados and some spring mix. It's hard to beat.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you can eat healthy there too, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned your staff earlier. They're kind of carrying you, and but they're always so friendly.
Yes, sir.
Are a lot of them holdovers? They've been there for a while.
Yes, sir. And I think there's a couple new ones, but
we
didn't. Everybody stayed through the transition, and it's really everybody's so nice and helping me out because I came from a chemical plant. I didn't know nothing about a restaurant at first, so they really the ones been training me and learn as you go.
Yeah, I
yes,
like
sir.
it. And you got some rock stars too, right? I mean, they're out there, they're doing things outside of their working hours at the restaurant. You got some pretty good people working for you, right?
Absolutely, yes, sir. I think I want to say all but about 2 or 3 employees have multiple jobs. I know a couple of them have their own catering gigs, and then I know one of our bartenders, Alex, can sing like no other too. So they're all really incredible people, and they're all got their own things doing outside of the Ashland Pub as well.
That's cool.
Yes, sir.
Cool. You mentioned that you're always there working. So what's kind of your philosophy on working in the business? Right. I mean, there's kind of a fine line, I guess, of working in the business and working on the business. So what's your philosophy there?
I just try to be as hands-on as possible. I mean, you truly don't know what's going on until you get your hands dirty and get in there.
Yep.
I like to work. I like to be moving. If I sit still, there's no telling what's going to go on. So I like to keep moving. I want to be very hands-on and learn the full, what's going on from top to bottom. That's my biggest concern right now.
I like that approach too, and I think you can. Well, I mean, you can gather feedback from your customers that way. You interact with your loyal customers that are always coming in. I mean, I think that's huge.
And gaining respect from employees as well,
definitely.
too.
Yep, that too.
Yes, sir.
I think that definitely improves the dining experience. And that's probably one of the biggest things I've learned about doing this podcast is that, I feel like some of the most successful restaurants, you got, the owners are very hands-on. I mean, there's opportunity for you to still go and take your vacation and take a break and let the staff handle it and you not have to be there. But when the owners are hands-on, I feel like those are the most successful restaurants.
Yes, sir.
And I think a lot of that, like you mentioned, like I mentioned, that it has a lot to do with interacting with people and getting that feedback. And if something ain't working, you can pivot and
there you go,
move on. But anyway,
yes,
so talk to me about maybe some good memorable stories. What's some good feedback you've received from some of those loyal customers, and just what's maybe something memorable that sticks out to you?
I've had a bunch of customers telling me how good of a job I'm doing, and that really means a lot to me. But also, like, the customers saying thank you for not going and changing everything and making it what you wanted. Thank you for keeping it the place that we loved. And there's a lot of great people, and seeing customers come back again is really incredible experience. I've never really never really done anything like it. So to have somebody come back and say they came back just to see me again is an awesome experience.
Yeah. Well, me and you got a lot in common, I think, when it comes to, you said you worked at the chemical plant. I used to work at the steel mill before working.
There you go.
Before doing the tours.
They shift work.
So, yep. So I definitely know what you mean. You try hard every day not to go back to that.
Exactly.
That kind of way of life.
Yes, sir.
So, man, keep on doing it.
I appreciate that.
So tell everybody, what's your location? I mean, I know most people are familiar with where Ashland Midtown Pub is, but, maybe they're not. So tell everybody where your location is, hours of operation, and how they can get in touch with you.
So we're located at 2453A Old Shell Road. It's right next to the liquor store, and if you're not familiar with that, it's right next to Old Dutch. It's about 3 buildings down across from Taco Mama. It's a Monday through Saturday, we are open from 11 to 11, and then on Sunday, we're open from 10 to 9. Sunday brunch. So we'll close down for a little bit. Our kitchen will be closed from 3 to 4 on Sunday as we change over our menu, and then at 4 o'clock, we'll go back serving our normal menu.
Is lunch and dinner menu different?
No, sir. It's the same thing, just our different menu Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday brunch.
Gotcha. All right, man. That sounds good. I'm excited to come back out and check it out.
Heck yeah, come on.
And come see. Our next segment of the podcast called Meat and Three. So we've gotten into the meat of the podcast. Now I've got 3 questions that I want to ask you. And first one is, and I think you answered earlier, but your favorite pizza on the menu?
Probably that buffalo chicken pizza. And I know my wife's favorite is that buffalo chicken as well, too. She's always asking me to bring some home. But
is it a ranch based?
No, sir. It's a white sauce, and then he's got fresh chicken that he's cooked, and then buffalo. Then he tops it off with some cheese, and then he's got some shredded Parmesan cheese that he tops it off with.
Yeah, I love a good buffalo chicken pizza.
Yes, sir. It's hard, but we did start making our own homemade ranch that is really good with it as well. So
all right, sounds good.
There we go.
I'm down. Anytime you see homemade ranch, I'm getting it.
Right. It's hard to beat.
All right, when you're away from the restaurant, what are some favorite places to eat in Mobile?
Ooh, that's a good question. I like Vandal Street Kitchen. It is the old Montego's out there by Providence Hospital. It's really good. Taco Mama across the street from Ashland Pub is really good as well. And then I also like, it's not actually in the Mobile area. We go down to Biloxi and go to this place called Gia's in the Beau Rivage Casino.
Okay.
That's really good.
Yeah, very nice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, y'all got it going on in Midtown, really. I mean,
absolutely.
You think about, you mentioned Taco Mama and Old Dutch, and you got Butch Cassidy's and
Butch Cassidy's,
and Ashland Midtown Pub. Man, so there's Bay Barbecue, right, man?
Right. And that Lost
really,
Pizza
really
Company
good.
right there.
Yep. Yeah. See, y'all got that's a good little nucleus of dining
really
right
is.
there in just a short couple of blocks of an area.
And then I've heard ever since that Publix was put in there, there's so much like foot traffic now. There's so many people walking around because they can walk to their family grocery store now. So that's helping with business, seeing
that's good.
Ashland Pub out there on the corner.
Yep. Yeah, that's good for all y'all. I mean,
Yes,
I think
sir.
It definitely is.
Absolutely.
Especially seeing how far it's come just in the last, 15 years or so.
Right. It seems like it's blown up.
Yeah. Yep. So that's good for all y'all. And I know, I guess it shows. I mean, I know every time I've been there, y'all been packed. Of course, I went to Old Dutch with my kids a couple of weeks ago, and we stood in line for a good 10 minutes.
Have to.
So, and then I've seen, of course, you've seen the line out at Taco Mama. So, I mean,
Yes,
all
sir.
y'all right there, like I said, y'all are all doing awesome.
Yes, sir.
All right, we mentioned our buddy Fulton earlier.
Yes.
And I know you go up to Miller's Ferry a lot, and that's how,
Yes, sir.
You and the Holmes family kind of met. But
Absolutely.
what are some places between here and Wilcox County that you might say somebody needs to stop in and eat at?
Well, there's this new place in Jackson. I don't know if it's opened up yet. I keep seeing it every time I pass, and I wish I could remember the name of it, but I want to try there. David's Catfish House in Thomasville, Big Mike's in Thomasville. It's a steakhouse. But I wish I remember that new restaurant. It looks, it looks really nice on the yes, sir. It looks really nice on the outside, but I can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
Oh, Edge Drive-In in Jackson too. Them burgers, that's where I stopped.
And speaking of the homemade ranch, got the onion rings.
Yes,
there,
sir.
And the ranch, that's good stuff. My wife's from Jackson.
Oh, yes,
so,
sir.
I'm very familiar with Edge Drive-In.
Got to get you a chocolate milkshake too.
Yep, no doubt. That's good stuff. All right, next segment of the podcast is called Fork in the Road, and this is where I talk about a upcoming restaurant in the Mobile area. And something that's coming up new, and Lemoyne's Chop House is going to be something that's coming new, and that's going to be inside the Admiral Hotel. And the Admiral's is really going under a pretty big renovation right now, and a part of that renovation was the restaurant, and of course there was a little cafe there for a while, but man, they've listened to the people. Who said we need a steakhouse in downtown Mobile, and man, they've brought it. I mean, of course, it's named, after our founders, the Lemoyne brothers, D'Iberville and Bienville. It's kind of where the name comes from, but Lemoyne's Chop House, they've got, just prime cuts of meat. I mean, just looking at the menu, they've got filet, tomahawk, ribs, ribeye, wagyu. I mean, it's all kind of add-ons, lobster and Oscar, all kind of sauces and stuff. Fresh Gulf seafood. They had a seafood tower, scallops. There was a Maine lobster bisque that kind of caught my attention.
That sounds good.
Just some real good premium sides too. Brussels sprouts and mushrooms. A Conecuh mac and cheese kind of caught my attention as well. But the hotel, they're having a grand opening reception August 1st. So I know there hasn't really been a timeline on when the restaurant's going to open or anything like that, but I do have to think that with that grand opening reception on August 1st, that the Lemoyne's Chop House should be opening up pretty soon. And I think that's gonna be a good fit for downtown to have a really nice steakhouse. I think that's definitely something that we're missing downtown. So certainly excited about that. Lemoyne's Chop House will be inside the Admiral Hotel.
Good location too, right there in the hotel.
I think so. Yeah, I think that'll be a good location.
I think they'll do really well.
And you see that Penton's Bistro that's kind of right there.
Yes, sir.
They're doing really good, kind of taking advantage of that little area. Of course, Knucklebones will be right across the street. Coffee shop, they're doing really well too. So I think that location is pretty good. All right, our next segment of the podcast is called Chris's Dishes, and this is where I talk about a dish that I've had lately. And Christian, I'll turn it over to you also if you've got a dish that you've had. But my dish is actually a drink this week. So I'm going to talk about the cocktail I had at Post was called the Japan. So they're doing a thing this summer where you can drink around the world. And so you get a passport, and they've got these drinks that they've created with all different countries. And so the Post, this downtown, has got one on there, like I said, called the Japan. And man, it's probably the best cocktail I've ever had at Post. And I know that, and that's I know that's saying something because I think I can't speak for a lot of people that we've been to Post a lot and had a lot of drinks there.
And they're known for their cocktails now.
And they are.
Yeah, they got some good ones.
Yep. But this Japan, man, it's got a kettle rose vodka. And so that's kind of the base, I guess. But there's all kind of fruit. There's like dragon fruit. The Japanese cherry blossom tea, I guess gives it the Japanese flavor, but to it. But man, it's really good. So if you get a chance to get that cocktail Japan, I definitely recommend that one. I've had it. We served that one also on the Bienville Bites tour a few times, and I've had several people as well tell me it's one of the best cocktails I've had too. So get a chance to do that. Get a passport, and the Post on Spring Hill. They also have a different set of countries that you can get drinks from. I went to the Post in Spring Hill and had the USA, which was kind of an old fashioned was the cocktail there. That was a good one too. But the Japan from Post was a good one. What about you? You got a dish you've had lately?
I've been trying all kind of stuff, but I'd say right now the crab artichoke biscuit KK's got is really good.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try drinking around the world, man. Get a passport and start trying them.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool. I like that little deal they got going on.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, they're doing it all summer. So, go in there.
And that Post, man, they've been blowing up, too.
Yeah, they do good.
They do really well.
Yep. Yeah, we had Matt he was one of the early episodes that we had on the podcast was Matt Lamont.
Mm-hmm.
Been talking to one of his bartenders, Tyler, who we need to get him on the podcast. So we've been talking about getting it. Talking a little bit more in depth and in detail on what they do there. So, well, Christian, man, I appreciate you coming on the podcast today.
Yes, sir. It's been a blast. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm excited to get out there and check it out, support you, and keep supporting, like I said, Midtown and our local restaurants. So
we're still gonna have to get up on that river though one day. Maybe go try to catch a fish or something.
Hey, I'm down with that too.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep. We'll get away from down. We'll get away from the city.
There we go. Just a little bit.
All right. Appreciate you coming on, and appreciate y'all listening to the Port City Plate podcast. And we'll catch you on the next episode.